Hello, and welcome to Life on the Ice. My name is Brady Baxter with Baxter Fishing Guide Service here in Detroit Lakes. We're excited to bring you the third episode of Life on the Ice, a show dedicated to skid house ice fishing where we bring professionals from around the region to share tips on ice fishing in the north. Today, we'll be heading out to Big Pine Lake near Perham, Minnesota. There, I'll be joined by a good friend of mine, Randin Olson of Lockjaw Guide Service. Randin is a highly respected guide in Otter Tail County in Minnesota. Randin has been featured in several TV programs, and he's contributed to many print and online magazine articles. I'm really looking forward to this trip because, in addition to being a fishing guide myself, I'm also a lifelong learner. I want to see if I can learn anything from a fellow fishing guide.
Completely honest, I actually started doing this when I met my wife.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and the reason behind that is a lot of my friends said, well, you're not going to fish as much as you do now. I said, well, if I'm getting paid for it, you can't say no.
No.
You got to remember, walleyes in the winter are just plain hard to catch. I mean, in the summer, you can go out and you can pop your limits of walleyes. You got to work for them sometimes, but you can get them. You move around so much more and cover so much water. In the winter, you're fishing at 8 inches at a time, you know. Mm-hmm. So you got to remember, you're kind of playing the odds. So even if you mark a ton of fish, but you're only getting 1 out of every 15 or 20 fish to bite, you know, that's not that bad. Sometimes that's just the way it is with walleyes. So you got to kind of know that and expect that going into it. And then you got to just shoot for those aggressive fish. Like you said, you got to stay up higher. When those fish come in, you pick off those aggressive ones, and you got a set line there. Set that thing close to the bottom if you want to pick those fish up, and kind of two-team it just like that.
Sure.
So I think an overlooked option is tip-ups.
Sure.
You know, that's a great option. It's a untouched, unmolested line. That's kind of the way I look at it. You set it, you're not walking around it, you're not making noise above it, nothing. It's just the bait there. You know, pretty good sign. I mean, it's still pretty early. It's only 2 o'clock. We've had half a dozen come through. Yeah. Give or take. I mean, it's post-frontal and high skies, no wind. Yeah. So inherently, you're just expecting a little tougher bite, but that's what's really nice with having 2 guys and the mobility to move around if we need to. But you know, having 2 guys in the house, we can have one guy run aggressive, one guy non-aggressive. You can fish bottom, you can fish high, you can kind of go all over the place and really dial it in quick.
Oh yeah, see something there.
There's something there.
Oh yeah. That might have been your minnow there that I'm seeing.
Oh, it's not big.
Oh, you got something on?
There's something on there.
Oh! There we go!
Kind of embarrassed to catch that one.
Stretch your arm up, hold him far.
I don't have that long arms. Oh, we got, 6 sleeper houses that we rent out in the winter, which is a great way, if you're thinking about getting one of those, it's a good way to just test it out.
Yeah.
Or, what we hear a lot about is, you don't have to mess with it. It's already on the lake, road's plowed, everything's ready to go, you just show up and fish. So that's a nice option to have. If you're a diehard fisherman, something like this or a portable trip that's the way to go.
Absolutely.
You just keep moving, and mobility is definitely the key when you're ice fishing. You got to stay mobile and keep moving around. So
yeah, in a house like this, you're gonna catch the most fish because of that mobility. Absolutely.
Right. Yep. And thing I think a lot of people don't think about is when you're stuck in a wheelhouse where you're sitting on a spot, you're there. Yeah. You can't just pick it up in 10 minutes and move it around. So we got a couple fish.
I see that. We got one coming in. Hey, nice.
Hey. Don't feel very big, but I think it's the right species.
Oh, self-releasing.
Another one down there, but
here comes another game.
Next to your stock. It's something really cool about Otter Tail County where I guide is we have so many options. We have 1,148 lakes in this county.
Wow.
So
Most in the state, from what I understand.
Most in the
right?
country.
Oh, really?
Most in the more lakes in this county than there is in any other county in the
I
states.
believe it. I believe it.
But you know, that's the cool thing about here is if it's a bad bite on one lake, you're 10 minutes from another lake.
Yeah, yeah. And in a house like this that's nice and portable and small, you can get onto some of those smaller ponds that you've been eyeing during the summer. Like, you know, I'm going to go there once I can access it. Nice thing about a house like this is you can get to those small ponds a little bit easier.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. You know, everybody has access to the same things in the winter. So I think we gotta move.
I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
All right.
That worked out pretty slick, Brady. We about 15 minutes. We made the move.
Yeah.
Not even quite 15 minutes. We're already back to fishing.
Yeah, we're banked up and everything. The heater's still on, and that was quick.
Yeah, that's the important thing is this time of year, you know, when you're moving, especially like we did so close to prime time, the faster you can do it and quit making noise, the better off you are.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't even have to turn off our fish finders. We just plopped them right back down as soon as we got here.
There's another one coming in. Got that one. Well, he didn't toot around at all. There's a better
Nice.
one.
There we go.
Aggressive walleyes. That move was worth it, Brady.
There we go. It was.
Alrighty. We had some dinks at the other spot. This guy ain't a behemoth by any means, but is a perfect eater. 15, 16 incher maybe. Perfect. Get him back.
Yeah, I'd say that's one of my favorite aspects of guiding is just the people that I've met and the stories I've been told, or me telling stories to them. It's the conversations that happen on the water that really fill my cup.
It's such an awesome sport, and to get to share it with everybody is... And the cool thing for me is I'm one of those guys that I like to go outside the box a lot, and guiding opens that up for me because I can give the clients the tried and true stuff, and I can go to the oddball, weird stuff that nobody's going to try and figure it out. You know, we get that option, so that's pretty cool.
There it is. Come on up. Come on here. Us here. All right.
Little guy. He followed us from the other spot. Another dinky one. And now we can tell everybody we caught 8 walleyes tonight.
Yeah.
You know, every year I say there's no way I'll do more than I did last year. And that first year I did 65. Last year I did 158 trips just in the boat. And then this year I did 171 trips just in the boat. Out of 185 days on the water. So it's pretty crazy how fast it's spiraled. And thankfully I've been keeping my eyes open enough that when the door opens I've went through it. Sometimes it gets hard to, when God opens doors, sometimes it's hard to see that it's Him opening the door, and it's hard to make yourself walk through it. Glad I did. Well, Brady, I think the bite's over.
I think we'll call it, huh?
I think so.
I think you're right.
That move was a good idea.
Yeah, it was.
Got us a couple good eaters coming out of there.
Yeah.
Tough conditions today with the post-frontal stuff, but we were able to ice a few walleyes. And
Yeah. I think we put eight on the ice today, right?
yeah.
There you go.
No, I appreciate you letting me come out with you.
Well, yeah,
that was awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. And, you know, I'll say it for Randin here. If anybody's looking for a guided trip in the Otter Tail area, this is the guy to call right here. All right, Lockjaw Guide Service. I really appreciate you fishing with me, Randin.
Anytime. It was an awesome time coming out here and getting a fish out of this ambush, and it was a cool experience. So
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Next week is the Mike Hildy and Dan Dubell show, where they do a weekend trip on Upper Red Lake in the new 8-foot by 14-foot Ambush Slammer. Please subscribe to the Ambush Outdoor Products channel and click on the notifications button to be alerted of each new episode. Until then, all the best on the hard water.